And welcome everybody to Outside the Lane. This is your League of Legends talk show with me, your host, King, and my main man to my left, Ian Race Crown White.
Hello, everybody. I'm not here against my will.
He's not here under duress, but the only duress that he has been feeling has been in the game of League of Legends. So, how's Solo Q been treating you?
Well, I had to call you while interrupting your private time and doing whatever you normally do since your voicemail is so full and you won't delete it. So that way, me and your mama can leave you voice messages and tell you how we feel. I nearly wanted to hurt myself because it's been that stressful.
In
Mostly because
Minecraft.
of the fact that
In
no,
Minecraft. In Minecraft.
I don't even play Minecraft.
In Minecraft is where you wanted to hurt yourself in a video game.
Because it's stressful. Like we know 18 and 19 supposed to be enchanter patches, and okay, and I'm like, okay, I'm playing my champion and good. The only problem is I'm like, well, what I'm trying to play doesn't fit what people want me to do, and then since you're at low elo, it doesn't matter what the meta is. It's all about what wins your games. And right now, you can play enchanter match all you want to. If somebody beats your butt, brand, congratulations. You lost.
Yeah, Brain makes that bot lane very, very difficult. I mean, I'm not going to front either. This has been one of my least favorite seasons as far as solo queue grinding. Interestingly enough, though, I'm making so it's weird. Like League of Legends itself has been, I would say, frustrating. But like the people that I'm like meeting and interacting with while I play League have been overall better. And I don't know if that's the same experience that not like better as players, but like better as people like people that I've been joined up with in Clash, or if I'm streaming and people decide to jump in, like if, so we can play together. Like people have been really really cool. So I'm just not sure whether it's just overall the quality of the game and the state that Riot's balance team and stuff has put the game in, is jeopardizing where we want to see it or where we're thinking where it should be and stuff. But overall, like I've been enjoying the people that I've been interacting with, playing with, kind of getting to know, learn. And it's almost like League of Legends isn't about winning or losing. It's about the friends we made along the way.
It's almost like a Pokemon journey. It took us 25 years to finally win it.
Oh, wow. Why you gotta throw shade at my man Ash Ketchum?
I'm not,
He's out here, okay?
no, but it'd be sad that Ash has won a championship more. Ash won a championship before I even got to gold.
Ash is like 30. It's okay. He has that thing that makes him look like a kid, like Benjamin Button syndrome. But either way, I mean,
No,
so what roles? So when you're playing solo queue, what roles have you been playing, or what issues have you been seeing primarily?
my issue is the fact that I get tilted, and then I decide to play a role that in theory by the call me king official flowchart soon to be made. You'll find it before patch 20
It'll be on
11/20.
it'll be on a t-shirt.
It's soon to be on. Check the merch store in about 2 weeks. It'll be there. Anyway, back to the point at hand.
We don't
I
actually have a
tilt.
merch store. We're just messing. But go on, keep on going.
No, that's it. No, it's a plot twist.
Focus
Yeah.
on the point you're
Oh,
making.
sorry. ADD brain. Um, basically, you run across the fact that I get tilt. You tilt out of your role, then you start reaching. As soon as you start reaching, people start teaching, and then you're like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to talk to you again." Oh, is it? While you hear the ghost of Chester calling out to you, it's like, and
Oh
at that
my.
moment, you know you need to call your boy King.
Oh yeah, I mean it like so I agree. When I like I said, the games have been very I don't know. Like I feel like so I was explaining it to you earlier while we were in game, but and maybe some of you out there might have had the same experience and stuff like that. But I do feel like the games have gone very they're very stompy. Like you either stomp or you get stomped. I would say 80% of the time, and then the 20% of the time where you have like a really really close game. But like if you're saying like I don't know two out of 20 games you're having a really good back and forth, really close game where even if you win, you like feel good about winning and you feel good about the enemy team, and if you lose, you feel okay about losing because it was a hard fought game. But then you have to wade through like 18 other games to get to another two, and that feels really really bad. And I don't like. I think, and I will my sword will rest on this. I do think the quality of gameplay has a lot to do with riots trying to control like thought police and behavior police people, because I feel like if you ban more people for inting, running it down, having multiple accounts that they also run it down on, like because they can do ISP, information, or have everybody use their cell phones like they do in class and stuff like that. Like they can do enough to sync accounts like one, like to figure out who these people are that are constantly ruining other people's games. But instead, they'll ban you and like remove you from the game, excuse me, for being mean. And I've seen some of my friends, like at first I used to think like that my friend, like I have one friend who's just like always getting banned, and I used to say, bro, you got to be saying some extra stuff, you got to really be on it to be getting banned and stuff. And he was like, bro, I swear to you, I've never said anything that's like racist or said anything that's bad. Not bad, but he, like his early, like in his first times when he used to get banned for cussing people out, he would say some really, really like raucous stuff. But then, like in his last two accounts that have gotten banned, it's almost like, yeah, they know that he's a toxic player, or they know that his account or his ISP is bad. So it once he starts being like, shut up, like go to hell, maybe a few levels above that, then he gets banned. Whereas like he's still one of the, like, you give him a fresh account, he'll get to like platinum, diamond in like 2 weeks. And it's just like people can mute the game. You can just walk away. Or you can mute other players, you can mute all. You can mute the individual player that's frustrating you or annoying you. And I feel like if we focus on gameplay overall, like not only would North America's player base be like higher, because look at Europe. Like Europe is a super toxic server. Over in EU West or whatever, it's super toxic. But look at the caliber of players that they're producing, because they fight through the toxicity, and they get to a point where they're like, okay, well I'm on top, so screw everybody else. And then you get players like Caps, Perks, Mithy, Gent. I mean, look at all of our mid laners in America. They're pretty much just from Europe at this point. Bjergsen's about to come back.
Yeah, I'm sending a stream out to I'm sending a stream out to a friend who's been dying to me to talk. I was supposed to call her back after the game, but
Hmm.
oh boy, wrong King. I think
Yes.
I sent the wrong one. I sent the wrong one. Oh boy.
Well, I would like to
Well,
hear
you see,
your opinion.
no, I was trying to send I sent the wrong King.
No, I'm just
Call me
saying.
King.
Oh,
Oh, but yeah, ultimately, as we said several episodes ago in the ether,
in the
League of
ether.
Legends in North America is a for fun server. No one really, the people who are good, now happy to be good enough for you to for people like me to take this little card, put it into Twitch, and give them money. It's all good because it's the all information on the back, so no one can get it. But people, it's careful for fun. But
Okay.
however, when it comes to like lower elos and it goes down, I think a lot of people don't care. It's like a lot of people just care just to get gold, and if they can get gold, yay. But a lot of players there's a lot of players, and I'm starting to notice this too. It's like I live and breathe and die by what I can accomplish in game. I sometimes put my self worth based upon what my name's what the accolade says next to my online name,
Yeah.
which may or may not be a problem for me mentally. But that's where my heart lies because I live and breathe competitive gaming because this is the last bastion of hope for me.
So
Otherwise, it's like
do you think it's more of a? So you think it's more of like a uh, time is of the essence issue for you, for like you personally. Like this is beyond the game. Then this is like
This is thanks to the coof pandemic, and actually it's more of an endemic than a pandemic right now because we're never going to get rid of. It's not going away. It will never go away. All the best we can do is mitigate our chances for either getting it, making sure that we're healthy as we can be, and most important, not doing anything risky. Like some,
so just
eliminate the risk.
being overall,
Health.
yeah, smart about your physical health. But I'm saying this sounds more like a mental health conversation when you're saying that you're putting your life, or you put your self worth and self value next to the accomplishments of your gamer tag.
Yeah, don't care that much about iRacing. I'm not that good, and I've just started. But League is this is 10 years in the. I've given up so much at the gun. Like, I've cost myself opportunities, and all I have to show for it is a computer a computer, my friendship with you, and that's about it. And 2 degrees. That's it. Outside of that, I have nothing to show for what I invested most of my attention into.
So
Where look
you,
at Shattuck, who we look at Shattuck, who's I think whose birthday is Shade or Shattuck, whose birthday is tomorrow, or
it
whatever.
is, it is.
He's teaching school, about to get his another degree. Can God is what the guy, but he doesn't care. And like the friends you have can climb the ranks that they don't really care if they can want to go pro or not.
Hmm.
It's the reason why Michi's famous in our group because she used to what's it? Wait, she used to, I forgot. I know she used to date a pro, but she still plays the game well better than us. But they don't care. I care as much, but my skill level's down here, and
Hmm.
my attention span is worse. So it makes the skill level I have go like the.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So it's like
Is it one of those things that you think that you can like fix, change, or otherwise? Like, do you think you have the ability to batten down the hatches and say, "All right, I'm going to one trick a champion," or batten down the hatches and say,
I
"Okay."
don't have the attention. I'm having attention issues, and probably because of the fact that again, my job is grinds me out on a daily basis. Mentally, when I'm seeing short shift, people get leaving early, people quitting over and over. I'm working shift after shift after shift, putting a lot of time. Granted, my job is supposed to fill, but my work responsibilities hold into a lot of my league, and then I just keep trying to play as many games like I used to be playing when I didn't have a job. When
Hmm.
it's like you used to go to work and you see me playing. You come back, you come home, left the gym, they're talking with your girl, hang out with your cats, and you still see me online 8 hours later. And I'm playing the game like I just didn't work an 8 hour shift.
So it sounds more
And
like
then I'm
you're.
mad
Go ahead.
and I'm still mad because I'm still paired up with what I think are nincompoops. Even though sometimes I'm playing like a nincompoop. But I think I'm better than them because clearly
Well, at least you have
I
good
play with you.
self awareness and whatnot. I would say it sounds like you're also having a difficult time um with balance. So it's not like just time management. It's like um effort as well as ROI, return on investment, right? So right now you're getting a very 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 low return on investment when it comes to League of Legends. Is kind of how it kind of feels, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you are investing a lot into the game. And I mean, let's be honest, we all, like most of the people who are in, I'll say, from like bronze to silver, and that have are in the couple hundred, like you're not a smurf, you're not, we all invest a lot into the game because we want to get better. It's something that we
You're a
enjoy.
smurf.
I'm not a smurf by any means, but especially this season, like in seasons past, sure, you could have called me a smurf, but this season, by no means am I even remotely close to being a smurf. But that's also because we invest so much, like, to because you have to keep the way the game is structured. They change the game every 2 weeks, right? So every 2 weeks, the champion that you were playing may go down the drain, or the champion that you've had a hard time beating, you all of a sudden can win every single matchup against them, right? Like, you have to pay attention to certain things. Like, certain things are always gonna kind of be there unless they rework a champion completely. Like, oh, if Darius gets his snowball going on his axes, he could very easily get a pentakill and drop 5 axes on people, right? You know that Blitzcrank Hook is always going to yank you all the way from your mama's house back to back to your, or no, all the way from the club to your mama's house. Like, like there are
Plus,
certain things that we know about the game, right? But when they do those little changes, like, we do our best to keep up and to figure out and adapt and maintain. And sometimes that's frustrating because you're putting in so much effort, whether it's following stat sites or watching League of Legends help videos or getting professionally or personally coached or just grinding out games. You're doing as much as you can to better yourself in the game. And when it feels like you're going nowhere, that will create its own frustration. So when I say it's more of like a balance issue, it's not so much of like, you gotta think. So your return on investment when you go to work is you go to work and you work and then you get a paycheck. So as long as the work that you're doing and your paycheck weigh out, you don't feel so bad going to your job. There are people that go to work and they work, I don't know, 100 hours a week, and then they don't bring home enough to even like pay for their bills. Those people get frustrated at their job. Now, if you look at League of Legends the same way, if you're putting in all those hours, like I said, watching the videos, doing the stat sites, getting coached, and all this other stuff, and you're still struggling to like stay out of bronze, or if you're an iron player or whatever, and you feel that every game you play is against you, you feel like there's always AFKs and there's always all this other stuff going on, it becomes really, really difficult because you're investing all this time, energy, and effort and getting nothing back for it or getting a very minimal return on it. And that can be like really, really, really um, demoralizing at the end of the day because, it takes away from the effort that you are putting in.
I get what you're saying. It's like I said, it's having streaks in those games where you're trying to reach, you're trying to press to get wins, and you're upset, and you're like, and then you get someone says because you're mad, and you some first everyone's first response is you're mad because you're bad. Like, no, I'm losing games to, no offense, you and your trash strategy because the fact that my team my team top against Walt. My jungler's a one trick Nautilus, and he so happens to play jungle against someone who clears faster than him, and your jungle's going around the map going zoom on the zoomies, and I can't do anything to stop him. Plus, my Swain is getting dog walked by Lux. Well, we're getting dog walked. We're trying to pop them in the face, and we're getting clapped because everybody and their mama come to us.
I think that's also a problem with team games because the hardest difficulty about playing a game like League of Legends. So I personally had my chat. I think part of the problem also for me during the season that I've amended was during the beginning of the first half of the season. Well, I didn't even play the first half of the season. I was back in school. But when I came back to playing League of Legends, I had my chat turned off because I wanted to avoid the negativity and toxicity as I was like getting back into the game, relearning the meta, getting my mechanics and everything back together. So I had my chat turned off. And I always tell you to keep your chat off because you tend to feed into the tilt of what people are saying. Then you start typing back, and you start losing focus on the game. But if you're able to play beyond that and not fall into that like drama, that circle, um, I turned off my chat and it becomes Babysitter Simulator 5000, where you have a bunch of children throwing temper tantrums, and it's basically your job to like quell the baby rage and get your team in the
You have
right
to herd
minds.
the
Yeah,
cattle.
yeah, yeah. You have to, herd the cattle, lead the sheep, whatever you gotta, whatever term you want to use. But you gotta take care of your daycare and be like, all right, look, everything's okay. I know he said some mean words to you, but it's okay. No, no, he didn't mean it. He just upset. We're in a video game. It's okay. And if you can do that enough, I think for me that's the part that's like most exhausting about playing League of Legends because it'll get to a point where like I'm getting caught out because I'm like, look, guys, we got this, it'll be okay, and then like fiddlesticks out of a brush, and I'm just like, now I gotta hold it in, realize that maybe next time I type from the fountain or I type from my gray screen simulator. You know what I mean? So it's little things
Or
like
hear me
that.
out. You league mate dates, voice chat. to be on.
There's rumors that voice chat will be coming for next season. There's rumors.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know how I feel about. Okay, the only reason why I don't know because like when I used to play Dota with Matt, the old roommate.
yeah, but we
Okay,
all know, man.
we all know Matt.
Matt's the guy
Okay,
we were
I was
all
just
mad at
I was
because
just
he
making.
got boosted to and played ARAM all year,
That's
and I
funny.
struggled and still couldn't get out, and I still want to beat his weight. Well, I can't say that. Never mind. We'll take that out of the edit. We'll take that out of
It's
the
all going up. They're gonna know who you are by your no. Anyway, but no,
edit.
seriously. It just came. It turned into one of those things where we would play Dota and Dota had voice chat, right? And you would think voice chat helps, but I don't think it helps as much as people think it will because one, people get on there and they get like really rude. They get kind of racist sometimes, or they'll get on there and they'll just be blaring music, so you end up muting them anyway. So I don't think the voice chat solution is going to be what people are expecting. For some people, it'll be great. Again, I think it'll disproportionately for maybe. I think it'll disproportionately help the ranks at the top than it will the ranks near the bottom. Because the ranks near the bottom not aren't don't just struggle with like mechanics and understanding the game. They fundamentally struggle with understanding teamwork and why things are happening and when things are supposed to happen. Like the game that we were just in, right? Our team. So we were just in a game. I got super fed early, and our team was still playing as if they didn't have like I don't know. I was like I don't know, like 13-2 or something. Like they didn't have like a 13-2 80 carry at like 15 minutes with like 3 items. They were all like still trying to playing for themselves, not peeling, not engaging, and it took a while, but
True
they
solo
start
queue.
they
True solo queue.
they're playing very solo QS. It took a while, but then after a while, they kind of locked it in. They kind of figured out what they figured out. Okay, you know what? We just need to play with this person, and we'll get this free win. And I think a lot of people play the game in a manner of like, I need to win. I need to carry. I watched all the videos that said how to carry your team instead of the videos that say how to get carried, how to be carryable, how to be a good teammate, how to play as a team, how to play as a squad. Because I guarantee you, those same players that are sitting there like running it down and not helping the team, you throw them in a clash game with like four of their friends, and they become a team player instantaneously. But you put them in solo queue, and it just goes out the window. They have no idea, no way how to
Uh,
play the game.
just remember everybody complained about when Riot took out solo queue and put like dynamic queue.
Yeah,
That's what really League needs. That League is the thing. League is a team game that your rank is affected by other people, but your individual rank is affected by other people. This is not like baseball where it's a team game, but your individual stats will determine if you're good or not.
stand out. Yeah,
League is league is straight up. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. You were 99-0 and 990 and 0, and you lost. Sorry, you still lost.
yeah,
No matter how good you did,
yeah.
you still the 0-69 tournament took your neck. Nice.
It's a
Stuck that one in.
truth. Yeah, no, it's a
It's a
truth.
stuck that last one in there.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you're right because it's not like you get like it's not like you can be a bronze player that has like a 41 KDA, just be the best player in bronze, killing everybody but lose every game, and then they're going to be like, you know what? Since your KDA is so good, your KDA is so nice, you know what? You're a gold player now. That's just never going to happen. That's not how it works. And a lot of people play for KDA. A lot of people play for intangible things. You have to play to win, but people
And
play
I
for
think
ego.
and
People
that's
play for other things.
that Moo game. Yeah, you said that you said we won. We were losing. I said, you know what? It's the only thing I was thinking about was this: just getting the team fights. Like the team fights we won in the games we won and lost. When I showed up and we layered the right CC down, this is their health bar. This is where their health bar went to 0. But I had to
So
lock. I had to.
I mean,
I
not to
had.
get too far off, but I do want to talk about like the idea that voice chat or because you're right, it's a team game where your individual stats can be manipulated by um external forces, your teammates, enemy team, and I think it's even more like exacerbated in League because League is like a snowballing game. So like let's say you are 10, 0, and 0, right? But the rest of your team is like 0, 0, and 10. Now, unless you just decide to AFK on Fountain and be that person that goes, well, my team's doing bad. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm not gonna play anymore. Unless you decide to be that person and you're still trying to win, you're still trying to fight, you're still trying to play, your 10, 0, 0 scoreline can very, very easily, even if you guys end up winning the game, could very easily turn into like a 10, 9, and like 14 scoreline, which now you look like, you weren't playing immaculately, you weren't doing fantastically, you just look like you were a part of the whole clown fiesta that was going on throughout the entire game. But sometimes that's what's needed and necessary to win the game. And I think too many people
Hey,
hold on to,
keep talking.
oh hey, welcome to the show. I think a lot of people hold on to that idea of, I need to keep that 10, 0, 0, so then I can be upset when the game's done and we lose because I'm 10, 0, 0 and my team's so bad, versus being like, screw it. I don't care if I go 10, 105, as long as we win. As long as we win this game, I can die 100 more times on top of that. If I get the, because that's what this game cares about. Like we said, the game doesn't care if you have a perfect KDA or if you have a million kills. It cares if you knock down the enemy nexus. And I think what ends up happening is you run into players that are KDA players. You run into people who get really, really frustrated with the matchmaking, or they don't understand, or they have a preconceived notion that they're so good. So if they're losing a matchup, it can't be their fault. So it's the jungler's fault. It's the support's fault. It's your AD carry's fault. Oh, it's this mid laner who didn't roam. It's always somebody else's fault, right? Instead of going, all right,
Mhm.
I'm getting walked. I need to just hang on, wait, farm where I can, not run it down, and win this game with my team. And people just tend to not be able to do that for some reason.
Probably because the fact that at some point I think I've even noticed that you ever seen of the games, like I think we had wires where somebody wanted to quit, and like, because like, oh my, I'm not having fun, quit.
Yeah, I mean that definitely happens. It's
I
frustrating
think that was the rail. I think that was before like the I was like the rail game and the last game.
where you just have somebody leave the
Like
game.
people wanted
Yeah,
to quit. Yeah, like it's like somebody just wanted to quit, and then because like they're not having fun, they're not doing the reason, and the problem with solo queue is the solo part. See, as you said, solo queue is generally, when people think solo, they probably think playing 1v1, Smash, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, or hear me out, that 1v1 dodgeball game.
sure.
They're not everybody's looking at I beat you. Like what like a ones tournament, like DB, like deep corner wide receiver DB, that kind of, they're thinking beating you in the 1v1, where yeah, 1v1s, you could be the best 1v1 player out there. That's fine. You can beat a DB, you can beat a corner, you can be the best wide receiver. But here's the kicker: the you wide receivers can't get the ball if the quarterback is on the ground.
Truth, truth.
League, same proof. You can't win the game if you on gray screen. If you and your teammates on gray screen.
I mean, I just farm and don't end. I mean, that's a smart way to play, and then it would depend on your role. It would also depend on what like the rate of play of the game. You know what I mean? And what champion you're playing. ADC Vayne main. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. What's up? Um, so a lot of times, because you're a late game hyper carry on Vayne, yeah, and I believe you also play Kaisa. Your Vayne Kaisa, if I remember correctly, from like last week. But if you're playing, yeah, yeah, see, I remember. Um, if you're playing those types of champions where, so yes, the archetype of the hyper carry in League of Legends is basically waiting to X point in the game for AD carries to generally farm. For champions like Cassidon or Kale, it's normally a level break. But once you hit that point, the focus and the attention should be on you, right? And a lot of times, how many games have you, especially being a Vayne or Kaisa or just an AD carry player in general, how many times have you been in a game where your jungler is running it, your mid lane's running it, your top laner's running it, and they're ready to AFK because they're not having fun, they're not winning anymore, and they don't think there's a way out. Meanwhile, you might be like 1-0-0 or even 2-0-1 or something in the bot lane with like 30 CS, 50 CS up over your enemy. And now and instead of being able to go, this is a team game, my teammate is doing well. I'm gonna as weird as it's gonna feel, I'm gonna put all my eggs in that basket and hope to high heaven that it gets us this dub. They're just ready to AFK. They're just ready to leave. They're just ready to bounce. That's frustrating. That's truly it. Really it is frustrating because like the game could be so much. I don't know. Like I just feel like it's it's just not.
It gets worse when you don't have anything to save you from getting demoted. And then you catch those games, and then you get demoted, and then you're ready to flip tables. Like this Toxic Tuesday, and I know if all the Timo mains everywhere, I know it's supposed to be Timo Tuesday, but you don't care. You want to talk about how much you hate this right now.
Thing is, when I
Yes,
started
the
a
bad.
game off when enemy Yi was 2-0 and AD carry had one kill, and like going into that, that probably doesn't feel very good either. Because I'm assuming you're talking about the enemy Yi and the enemy AD carry. So it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, the hyper carries are ahead early, or the late game carries are getting fed early, and that also doesn't feel good. But it's one of those things where once you start figuring out the ebb and flow of each team and figuring out, okay, we're at a power spike here, they're in a power trough, we're at a power trough, they're in a power spike. But once you get to a certain point, unless somebody, unless a solo queue team picks or designs a full late game carry team, like things generally tend to even out in the wash. Like both AD carries at 6 items do generally around the same amount of damage. Both general depending on the mid laners or I guess I should say types of champions. If you have two bruisers, they're about the same. Two tanks are about the same. You know, two mages will do about the same. So once you get to that point where everything starts evening out gold wise, or even if the gold is super disparaging, like everyone on the lower end has enough gold to get all 6 of their items or whatever, it just turns into who's going to play the game better. And I think people get into a point where they're just like, well, I just don't want to play anymore. I'm just done with it.
And that's the kind of the problem. That's what makes solo queue endurable. That kind of helps the notion that NA is just a for fun region. Because because people don't want to finish. Because it's like because again, I think League of Legends is a game that people play League of Legends, but they probably don't play League of Legends. If you catch the air quotes,
Elaborate on that.
as you told me, there's more to playing the game than I like this champion. I know what this champion does. Well, I know how to make this champion move. I smash, I roll, put my face on keyboard, roll face on keyboard. Game.
Blouses.
Exactly. As you said, there's more to League of Legends. There's thousands of things that go upon just picking a champion and just smashing the keyboard. It's a macro game, micro game. It's knowing your advantages, knowing where your disadvantages. It's knowing your vision, playing the prediction game. Everything that takes some form of practice, which somebody want to do,
And going
or
back
somebody
to
who did.
I was saying, and going back to piggyback off of that, what I said earlier is this game also changes every 2 weeks and then has a overall change every year. So you're going from, a game that what's the word I'm looking for? You're going from a game that could literally, okay, great example, right? I played in the preseason, took all that time off going to school, came back. It was like playing a completely different game. Like Kaisa was completely nerfed out of the meta. Samira lost half of her kit. Like even the 80 carries that I was kind of like, I'll play these few 80 carries because I'm enjoying them, I like them. Vayne's in a good spot. It's been literally like 5 years since Vayne's been a good spot. She's probably like number one actual 80 carry, like number 4 bot laner right now. It doesn't make any sense. It really oh, well, Draven just got buffed, and his buff is kind of nasty.
And
But
Ash was supposed to be best AD carry, but
they nerfed her because of pro play. But all I'm saying is like the game is so volatile that yes, when you're investing and putting so much time into the game, it does get a little tricky. It's like it's like pounding your head against the wall, and but like then the wall moves, and you still have to like walk towards the wall to go pound your head against it some more. I know that's a weird analogy, but that's like the best way. That's the only thing I can think of. Especially when the games aren't going your way. But then on the other side, you have to think like when the games are going your way, what why is that happening? Because I feel like
because
the games that I've been in. Oh, I'll let you go first. I'll let you go.
they still about to say the games I'm winning because they go back to the 80% stomp rule, and those are the games we're stomping because those are the people
Well,
where unfortunately,
that's not a rule. That's just how this season feels. My rule is the 30-30-30.
nah,
The but it feels like there's 30% of the games that you can win, and then it just feels like there's 60%, 70% that's actually just you just gonna stomp or get stomped, which doesn't feel good in this season. But go
it,
on.
it doesn't. I get catch those games where I'm not playing the best game. Like heck, I won a new game, and all I did was eat objectives, steal camps, show up and counter gank. But I just run around the map eating things, taking every dragon. Say, okay, you beat me on a dragon. Say less. I'm gonna take this Rift Herald. Send the Rift Herald to another lane.
So wait,
Let the
doesn't
Rift
that
Herald.
to me that sounds like you played the game correctly? You picked the champion, you played to the champion strength, and then you
But
played around the cards you were dealt. Like that doesn't sound like a bad thing.
I
Like
say bad thing because the fact
you were
that
on
my
Nunu.
teammates my
Hmm.
teammates were mad because you didn't show up. The jungler didn't. Oh my god, jungler didn't gank. No, he didn't. What he did do is try to turn the game to a 4v4 and make the jungler completely irrelevant because
So
what I learned is I don't have your hands. So I had to play the game League of Legends, keeping someone like you, which is really hard to do, busy long enough for you're not. So it's a bunch of 1v1s going around
so then I would say
because
wouldn't that be like so okay, so that I'm gonna say that sounds like a bad example just because it sounds like you played the game well, you played the way that you should be playing that champion. Now other people may say, yes, Nunu has such a strong gank, why aren't you ganking? But it's like Nunu also has very, very strong objective control. Why would why wouldn't I abuse the fact that I can consume smite or have almost I think it's like 900 smite at rank 5 or consumability
hmm
at rank
and
5?
then this consumes smite, and that's 800.
Yeah.
That's 1300. That's at
And
rank
I
5. If you were,
and consume scales with AP now.
I never built LP. I'm sorry,
I know
that's not me.
full tank is generally the way to go, but I mean if you were to build like a rocket belt and then build tank, you'd still be all right. But regardless, um, or just build like AP Bruiser. That might be my next game. I might play AP Bruiser Nunu. But
But
I understand. And that's when I'm like, hey, uh, mute your game. Like mute your game. Don't do that. And because functionally, it just sounds like you're complaining about people complaining about you not doing what they think should being done in the game. Because of course everyone's gonna assume that the jungler should be helping them, but the way the game is set up, that's almost impossible. Unless you are the perp. And again, this is another issue when it comes to solo queue, right? Unless your team is like, we are with you. We will ward here. We will show you where that guy's starting. We will ward here. We'll show you where he's pathing. I'll say 99% of the time when I play jungle, I'm the only one warding the enemy jungle. Period. Everybody's warding defensively for themselves. So they never have wards on the enemy camps. They never have wards to show where the person started, to show where they're pathing. We don't even know if they've taken the scuttle until you walk over. Like that's an issue as a jungler that you really have to figure out while you're playing because like again it goes back to that whole lack of teamwork, lack of team effort because you know never help invade when wave is at turret. When wave is at your tower, right? That's what I'm assuming you mean. So yeah. So again, it's a handshake when when the wave is at the enemy tower. No, when the wave is pushed, that's when you should be in. That's when you should be invading because you're pushed. That means you can leave them, and they have to get the farm. So they either have to make the decision of I'm going to rotate to this skirmish and lose all this farm, or I'm going to get all this farm and go to the skirmish, right? Yeah, your solo laners never help. Oh, okay. They never. Okay, I
Hey,
understand. I understand what you mean.
wow, I just got a notification for your stream.
Oh, welcome to the stream then, Ian. Even when they're pushed. And I think that's a map awareness issue, but I also think it's a mindset of not fully committing to being a team player. Because if you're in full team player mode, then you like when you're like I think okay, the breakdown would be a person is playing and pushing their wave because they're thinking I need to push my wave, so I put this person at a disadvantage. They're not pushing their wave to go, I'm pushing my wave because it'll allow my jungler to invade. And if my jungler is in a fight in the river, it'll allow me to rotate faster. They only think about that like hindsight hero. And they're like, oh, what? I mean, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not playing for, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think part of it has to do with the mentality when, like, within solo queue.
Because solo queue, the solo part kicks in when, like I already said before, it's weird that I'm now one game out for being back to 500 after starting the year begins starting the year 500, but the people I'm playing against worse than me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not saying I'm the greatest player in the world. What I am saying is this: solo queue only cares about one thing. Your MMR rating cares about one thing. The the LP number cares about one thing: the dub or the L. They don't care about nothing else. And until League solves that problem of making people care about not just oh I lost next game, because as long as you have that mentality, like it's like if I'm not having fun, that's it. Like how many people keep telling me like they stop playing League of Legends to play Valorant, stop playing League of Legends to play TFT, stop playing League of Legends to play Pokemon Unite because
I
they want
mean,
to have fun.
I was gonna say it depends on that individual too. Like it depends on what they consider fun. Like when I play Pokemon Unite, I think it's fun because it's really bad right now. It's like playing it's almost like playing League back in like the beta or season one, where there's not really a meta. There's no like the meta is still developing. People are still figuring out how to play the game, best ways to play, stuff like that, best champs, like, all that other stuff. They're still figuring it out. And I think um so for me playing a game like that it's just like okay, well, they don't have as many things put in place for this game to matter. They don't have, ranked and stuff for this game to matter. um let's see, Korean rank has high FF. Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. Basically in Korea they will open, it's not just forfeiting at 15. They have a very high um what's the word I'm looking for? They have a very high like open mid. So that's why whenever people say open mid in NA, it's really really funny because in North American open mid isn't a real open mid. It's like one person giving up and hoping that everybody like agrees with them. Whereas in like Korea, if one person open mids, the rest of the team is like, well, we're gonna lose. We have somebody who's just gonna be a dead weight. We cannot win this. So they open mid so that way the game's over in 6 minutes. Because when you say open mid in Korea, everybody goes, okay, we're all mid lane. We push down the towers. The enemy team isn't gonna stop us. We will all get out of this game in 6 to 10 minutes instead of having to wait. Well, it initially started way back when it was like the 20-minute surrender, but even now with the 15-minute surrender, they're just like, all right, we'll just barrel down the lane. Like we'll go get Rift Herald. Well, Rift Herald spawns at like 8 minutes, but they'll do everything they can to finish the game quickly because the mentality is like instead of wasting time in this game, instead of wasting 25, 35, 45 more minutes in this game, we're just going to be done in 10 minutes. We'll put this game behind us and we'll get into our next game. Now, is that healthy for the game? That's
No,
that's I would say that's on your personal. That depends on your personal, interaction with the
at
game.
high ranks when a single mistake can be the difference of winning and losing, yeah, you can see that. Like, thank you for not wasting my time. At the same problem, in lower ranks, it's like that's kind of gaming the system.
I
Cause
think
it,
I
cause
think I think the if that's also happening as frequently in lower ranks, it would make the game very very difficult to climb through because you get to a point where everyone is just very, oh, they screwed up an invade and somebody got like in the Draven got 3 kills. GG, go next. And now everybody's just open mid. You know what I mean? Now it's not every single game, it's not all games played on the Korean server, but I would say it does have a way higher frequency there than it does here. Like here, like I said, the NA open mid is always just like one person that's like getting completely washed and wants to give up on the game. So they're just like, yeah, GG, we're done, pack it up, let's go. And then everybody else is still like pushing waves, trying to play. And the next level of that is that same person will then get frustrated that his teammate or her teammates don't want to quit. So then they start trolling or inting more than they already are generally because they're already like having a difficult time in games. They're already running it down. So then they're like, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna go. Uh, I'm just gonna farm. I'm gonna farm all my junglers' camps because my jungler never ganked me. Not paying attention to the fact that their mid laner's ahead and because they got a gank. Their bot lane is ahead because they got ganks. The dragons are off the map. They're just going, well, my jungler didn't camp me, and their jungler ganked me twice, so I'm gonna go take my jungler's camp so that way he can't camp me, or so he has to gank me. And it's like now you're just putting your jungler at a disadvantage. That makes zero sense. How are you supposed to like how are you even if you weren't being a complete like idiot? How are you supposed to win the game? Putting people at
Shooter just made up
disadvantage.
a good point. Everybody wants to, is in the words of, I believe, Mrs. Hen. Everybody want the bread, but nobody want to be in the kitchen making it.
I mean, it's the truth of the matter. I know. I think this is a different. It's a little different because it's not so much nobody wants to work for it because that's what the hen reference is. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants the goods, but nobody wants to work for it. The difference here is everybody want. It's like shonen protagonist syndrome. I don't know if that's a real thing or if I made it up or if I heard it somewhere and then I'm. But I feel like I made it up a long time ago, but I could be wrong. Everybody wants to be the shonen protagonist, right? Everybody thinks like it is my destiny to win this game of League of Legends, and if it isn't me leading my team to victory, then it is all for naught, and I must like you know what I mean.
Listen, they they think they're the weird kid they think they're the weird kid with the weird color hair staring at the window.
No, not that one.
They're,
Well,
they're,
sorta. It's like
in the room full of normies.
they think that like they were it's just one more thing that I need, and then like once this happens, they'll see that I'm actually faker, and then and it'll be the last time that they'll rue the day that they didn't give me my pick. But it's like you're right. People need to understand that the game it's a team game as much as people meme that phrase. It genuinely and generally is a team game. Like, yes, sometimes you will be the carry, even if you're not playing a carry role. Like, if you're playing support and you're playing support well, look at I always bring it back to like look at the support players that have gone on to be like Hall of Famers, like Mata, Mad Life, Gorilla, Mithy.
Is it soon to be Yellow Star?
Probably not. We saw how hard that crashed and burned the second he didn't have Hooney and Rain over, and his career before Hooney and Rain over was pretty meh. You're just swept up in the whole like undefeated great team of EU or whatever. But he went
No,
he
it's
went
like
he went to TSM and got
Edward.
benched. He went Edward might be because Edward's been prolific in two regions. He was good with Moscow 5 and then Gambit, and then he went over and was with like fake Gambit. I don't know, like CB Law Gambit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
it's
favorite NA player like currently or ever, because that varies whether it's a favorite NA player currently or ever. But but yeah, it is that shonen ever. Oh, ever. Mine's probably still gonna be like Double Lift. Like I mean, he's like 90% of the reason why I'm even playing this game today. He was sick back in season two. Just go back and watch like a double lift season two, season three highlight montage, and you'll wonder where that guy went. Like in his later seasons, I mean, he was literally just like 1v3ing in a side lane every game. It was wonderful, and
Um,
it was the thing that made me go, okay, I'm just not going to be a mid laner, and I guess I'm going to go play AD carry because it looks so much fun, it looks so cool, and I regret that decision every day of my life. I just should have stayed in the mid lane. I just should have stayed in the mid lane. Actually, I went back to playing mid this season a little bit more, and it's fun. Mid is cool.
mid favorite in the game.
Ever. He's going to say
Uh,
Kiwi kid. No, I'm joking.
no, I forgot his name. He was on. I think he was Dignitas. I think he,
So
I think he's the
there's
last. Like anybody on like Curse of Dignitas for
Dig
them.
Her. So there's like Void Boy, Skara.
Scar.
I'm a cutie pie.
I like Scar. I like Scar, but my favorite is probably your boy Afro Moon.
Crumbs. Afro. Jeez.
It's probably Afro Moon.
You said Curse or Dignitas,
It
and then
like
you're like,
of all time, yeah. But then it
Afro
didn't drop,
Moon.
and then drop the Afro Moon.
Yeah,
Because
no.
like I remember, but I had a better love affair with EU at the time,
Yeah,
mostly for the
Zach
fact
is
that
cool. No, yeah. I think he's actually in a weird way. Like I think he needs either to continue coaching the new support that he's with or AD carry that he's with, or he needs to transition to a coaching role because he's not bad. He has a great mind for the game. I just think that he has been playing for so long, and the game has changed so much that I mean teams love to have him because again he's a great in-game leader, but I feel like he could provide more outside of the game because
West.
he's been in the scene for so long.
I think that's which I think is like another problem we kind of brought up. Like a lot of us old heads, some of us are not doing a really good job adapting to times. Season three, like the things I did in season one and season two and three,
Just don't. Not only don't work, they can't
are-
exist, bro. They can't,
it's
bro. Like items are gone. Champions exist now that just completely counter and stop things that existed back then. Um,
it's like yeah, items were removed, brought back, and then removed again. But you go back, it's like everything that the game was between the hyper ganking style, which something I failed at because I never liked that style, but or
but
having a Nunu that only who again what allowed me to numb is
I
play that.
think jungle. Just to pick, just not to fully cut you off, but I have to on this one. I think jungle was far more balanced then. I think Deathfire Grass for real. I think jungle was far more balanced then because he said he's happy it's gone. No way, brother, no way.
Yes, I remember
Because
I was on the receiving end of those. So
oh yeah, you're right. You're the one getting one shot. Um, I would say it was balanced then. Yes, hyper ganking was a thing, but then you could also play champions like Zac. Like I always think about like, oh my god, these Lee Sin players are 1v9 just super ganking getting everybody ahead. But then I also think of like Meteos and how Meteos would spend like 20 minutes or Clear Love over in China. They'd spend like 25 minutes in the jungle and then you literally were fighting another like mid laner. They like they would come into the fight 2 levels higher than your mid laner or than your top laner and just like walk you, and you just be sitting there like, wow. So that's what they were doing this whole time. Whereas like now the jungle's so weak, and similar like season six when Tarzan was rank one season six, basically farming for 25 minutes, and then he would show up to a gank, two tap every champion on the map on Graves and then disappear back into the jungle. Like it was just one of those things where but then at the same time, like Kha'Zix was broken, Rengar was broken. These are also like ganking champions that can really snowball and stuff like that. I think those time frames, though separate, had a lot of the same things that you could hard farm all game, and that hard farming may penalize your team. But then once you came out of the jungle, you were running around murdering everything. Where at the same
Yeah.
time, that gank style could snowball your team, and if you were able to close out a game fast enough, then you wouldn't be at a disadvantage to the hard farming champion. I think seasons like 4 and seasons 9 and this season keep on screwing up the way the farming champions work. You main
Wait.
jungle Sedge
Yep.
Sedge
Listen,
Sedgewoni.
Sedge, Nunu played Zach, and here's the thing: I played Zach the same way Meteos does. Like, you don't get a gank from me, and then I have items like, oh no, oh by the way, hi guys, and
I'm
it's like just
unkillable, yeah.
displacement,
But
displacement,
like I
punch, punch,
said,
punch. Just
like the way the jungle works now isn't that. Like you can get okay fed for farming, but the way it disproportionately goes down, like your level gain goes down and the amount of money that you get goes down. So if you've spent the entire game farming now, by the time everybody's like level 11, you're still like level 9 unless you're ganking. But if you're just farming, the way they've made the changes, you're falling behind, and then everyone, yeah, no XP late game from farm, yeah, and unless you're invading, and then even then, if you're invading, the rubber band mechanic just means your enemy jungler that you just took 5 of their camps. When their camps are back up, they just need to take 2, and they're the same level as you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I used to really enjoy if my jungler, like if someone had locked in Master Yi, right? Master Yi, you know they're going to be in the jungle for forever and a day. It's going to be really, really frustrating. But they locked in Master Yi. It was at least refreshing to know if Master Yi spends all day farming, he will be level 11, and the Elise will be level 8 or something. That was like nice to know, because then he's coming in, he's 3 levels up or 2 levels up. He has an item or half an item or an item above the person, and he's, you late game scaling and all that other stuff. But then they changed the game now where like Elise can gank, and then she can do one camp and stay on par and still be on the same level. And then they changed the way the jungle camps count. So each camp is worth 4 creep score, and the gold values for the camps are all different. It just becomes really, really difficult.
and then to top that off is one mistake can still cost you the game, especially when people are ready to quit early if things are not in their favor.
Oh yeah,
With that being said,
getting tired, big guy.
yeah, man, it's like that's why I stopped playing League. The wait, really, man?
I think it's a fake.
Iro?
I think it's a fake account.
Well, you know what you do, King.
Yeah.
so, sorry. Listen, we missed General Iro. He was a good guy before he passed. Wait,
Uh,
no, no, wait, wrong person, right?
I think it's a bot account. I'm just doing the stuffs. Came in selling links.
And block and report.
Yep. Bam. All right. I think. Wait. Why is it? Do I have to do it from the? Anyway, we should continue to focus on the.
It's a you just right click them and ban them.
Yeah. I was say we have to.
Remember,
We.
it's a mind thing. Mine should do that.
Uh.
Oh wait,
Someone lost that privilege. Dint. 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 But anyway.
I'm saying, spoilers, just spoilers. Wait, what's
But when you were talking about Iroh from Airbender. But anyway,
no, no,
I
but it's
think
like,
I think that this season has been dramatic. Has not been my favorite season, right? I think now that we've done like an hour of complaining, let's do like 5 minutes at least, at bare minimum, of how could we change the game, or what would we implement, or what would we do to try to make the game better? Because it's always fun and dandy to like beat up on Riot and beat up on the game, but it's like, what can we do to actually make this like at
And
least,
frozen. Oh
huh? No, you're not. You're just you haven't moved. You're
no,
laggy a little bit.
I'm trying to figure that part out. That's why I said I couldn't hear you. But the only way to fix League of Legends in a nutshell is like as you said, League is putting a lot of their time on everything else but League. Like League made the money, but now it's like League has become the peripheral Madden to for Riot. You just print you just a game you just have you put a product out there that's print you money.
Hmm.
And every other thing you build on everything you build based upon the backs of the people who play this game is based upon the money that you made here.
Still sounds like you're complaining, so let's get some solutions.
No, but it's like no, I'm saying I'm trying to get some backstory to it.
Okay.
So start back with it, it's like go into season 12, which I can't believe would be over 10 years of me playing rank and still made the gold. The best way I'm looking at is probably I could look at a hard reset. Start with a hard reset for
Okay.
everybody. Well,
Oh,
correct. Start with
there's
a hard reset.
there's a
Start with a hard reset for
streamer
those.
there's a streamer slash coach. You know him, Nice, and he always comes up with how he would fix solo queue. But yeah, continue
Oh
because
yeah, it needs to fix.
that's one of his things. Hard reset the ladder.
But
Um.
it's what I would do it in sections, right? It's like every because I face it. It doesn't matter if you reset somebody in like I'm stuck in silver.
Mhm.
Like yeah, we're stuck in silver. Whoopie doo. We're still gonna be stuck in silver. But maybe it had a cap where you hard reset. Like everyone who's like platinum, they all get stuck in diamond. Like plat diamond master. They're all is it congratulations your reset, but we'll put your reset number starts here. Versus congratulations, you're at fresh MMR account. You know what I mean?
Well, why wouldn't you want everyone to be at a fresh MMR then? Like think
Because
about it, because if you just because what you're saying isn't a hard reset, that's a soft reset where it's basically
it's hard because
what Riot does all the time. Oh, you were in Diamond, now you won your 5 games, or you won 3 games or whatever. You're gonna start off in Platinum 2, which is only 2 divisions away from Diamond, so you'll be Diamond in like a week, right? That's what the soft reset primarily, or yeah, is. Whereas a hard reset would be like, okay, everybody's MMR, everybody's accounts are getting set to 0.
well 1300, which
Or yeah,
I think
it's getting set to I don't know, like bronze 2 or silver 4 or something.
see the only reason I don't like that because what happens the first month, you get the situation where you get a match situation.
Yeah, yeah,
You
where
get lucky, you find somebody who's boost you where you want to be, and you're good. Or you're on the other side of the mat issue, and you now realize that your first ten
running into
games,
like 10 Smurfs.
yes, and then you're sitting here like cut my life into pieces. This is your last resort. When it's like just season just started, and
So,
you do
wait.
have a resort.
So my question would be like, okay, so let's say you do get boosted, right? Let's say you get boosted to gold for you, for instance, right? If you get boosted to gold, but then you can't keep gold, would that feel worse than getting trounced on by, excuse me, Smurfs, getting put in getting
I
put in
feel about the
iron,
same. If
getting put in iron, but then climbing out of iron, climbing out of bronze, and almost climbing into gold? Like, which would feel worse, climbing 3 divisions or getting put in a division and falling out of it because you don't deserve it?
having to climb 3 different divisions because iron, bronze, I'm not learning anything. And I think that's the other thing you said earlier when we were playing our last game. A lot of people played towards their competition, not better than the competition, but then think they're better than the competition when
Hmm.
they're not doing the things you need to do to be better than them. I know this because I know this because I'm sitting here. I notice this because I start playing towards my competition versus beating my competition. So instead of like, okay, King's fed, I need to, we need a group, use him as use him as our battering ram and go pow, 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 pow. Instead, still on autopilot, still on autopilot, still on autopilot.
So, okay,
And then we lose.
before, because we're still gonna go back to like fixing the game, but do you think that like then maybe you should do a thing where you set like I'm only going to play 3 games. I'm gonna play 3 games, and I'm going to be aware intent, have all my focus in on these 3 games to try to get the best play out instead of being like I'm going to play 8 hours of games, and I know by the time I'm in my fifth grade game, my brain will be completely mush and I will completely just be on autopilot. Don't you think it's better to like shorten that and
Uh,
just like play the 3 games focus. Like if you gotta take
which
pre workout, if you gotta take drink a Bang energy drink or a gamer fuel or something, be hyper under like focus and like in the game versus playing 5, 8, 10 games and like I said, having your brain leaking out of your ear.
um I think that's the other thing I'd probably do to fix League of Legends. Put a cap. Hear me out. It like I'm not saying I know League shouldn't be holding people's hands, but what if League starts no? What if the client knows that hey, you're having a hard time? We're gonna lock you out of rank for a while. I know that sounds like
Ooh.
stupid. So if for example,
See, I don't
if
think that
out
I don't think that'll ever happen because think about like just now. I hate to whatever for the individual, but think about the individual that spent like $2,000 on this game is having a bad streak, and now they're locked out of a game, and they're like, I spend my hard earned money. I go to work and I invest my money into this game. You're gonna tell me that I can't play?
a
Like
rank
right,
game,
like yeah, Riot's just gonna start losing their fan base, or might not even get people who will spend their money because they'll be like, oh, there's an opportunity for me to not be able to play the way that I want to play. Gotta give him goals at the start of the game. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we do that. We work on different types of goals. I mean, this has been a long time training. I mean, long time. His issue is he gets bored of playing. Like he'll be like his best role, easily his best role, support. Second best role, easily jungle. But what does this man queue up as? 80 carry. And what can't he play? 80 carry. So then he'll get like 3, 5 wins on support and jungle, and then he'll just go in like it's a gambling addiction. He like his solid like it's like being a really good poker player, and then like being addicted to playing like craps. You know what I mean? He's like he goes and he makes all his money playing he goes and makes all his money playing jungle and playing support. So he's racking up them wins, and then he's like, "Ha, now it's time to blow all the way on 80 carry. Let's go!" And then every time he lets the dice out of his hand, it's like snake eyes, snake eyes. He's like, "Nah, nah, nah, boys, we got one. Hey, let me rub your head. Let me blow on it for me. Snake eyes." Every time.
the D20 is not kind to me.
Bruh,
The almighty
that's
the
literally
almighty D20.
what all it comes down to for this man. Like it's not even so much that it's the popping off and the glory and stuff like that. It's like for at least for me. Let me speak for myself. I have fun analyzing the game, the strategy of the game, and winning. Right? Those are 3 things that I get value from this game. I think it becomes difficult. So like even if I'm losing, but I can learn something or learn something new, figure something out, learn something that'll allow me to not make a mistake or a similar mistake in the future or something like that. That's still 2 out of the 3 that I'm being able to benefit from, right? Whereas like if I'm losing, I'm not learning anything, and um there's no like evolution or adaptation that I can also I guess learn from, then that's where it feels like a loss for me, right? Because I like winning and I like learning. Whereas for Ian, I know for as long as I've been playing with him, he just wants to win. Now this is where partly the whole wanting the bread without being in the kitchen, because Ian wants more than anything to be gold, but you have to put in work to be gold. I know for a lot of people who are platinum, diamond, and higher, to them that's silly. They're like, just play the game, whatever. But when you're not those levels, and that when those levels don't naturally come to you, you have to study the game. You have to understand where you're win, like how to win. You have to understand how to carry. You have to understand how to be carried. You have to understand when to rotate, why you're rotating, uh, your power troughs and power and power spikes. There's so much that goes into the game, and if you're not taking that time to understand it yourself, go to League of Legends school, King's League of Legends Academy for gifted and talented youth, then yeah, you're gonna get really really frustrated when you're not you know executing the things that you believe you should be.
It gets worse when it's when you feel like you're literally playing with the class that needs the resources, and it's sad because I'm one of those people that sometimes needs a helping hand. This is why I said voice common help. Voice number two, fixing league, adding voice, and then adding for extra insurance, recording voice, so that way if anyone says something mean,
I'm just letting
see
you
ya.
know you're gonna see part of the reason why I don't think you want actual voice chat is because you're gonna end up one getting mad at somebody else and two saying something that you're gonna regret. Sucks when Riot changes every season, halfway through the season. They kind of slow down on the mid-season update, but yeah, they do start making they do still make a pretty heavy change, especially with champion additions, and then transitioning the meta for worlds. And I understand why they don't want to have a world that looks like last year's worlds. Like that's really really boring. If 1 year the metas Aphelios, I don't know, Aphelios Pike, not even Aphelios. It's like Ash, Sona, Oriana, Lee Sin, and I don't know, Nar. And then the next year it's basically the same thing except for like Sejuani. You know what I mean? So they
Or
want
League of Assassins, and everybody is like the League of
well,
Assassins.
even if it's a League of Assassins, at least watching assassins is flashy. Like
Tell
I'm
that to
saying,
me.
but
Tell that to my health bar.
yeah, and it's gone in a flash. It's very flashy at that point. Um, but I think what ends up happening is though in pro play, the more defensive you play, generally the better. That's why when teams play so like hyper aggressive, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh wow, we're actually getting to see a game be played because for the most part, these teams are playing as passively as they can. They're like, oh, we're gonna pick this team comp and we're gonna get these small advantages in this lane, so then that way we can not they minimize risk. They're minimizing risk, minimizing error in order to like win out hard on the other side. And
Yeah.
I think that's what happens the further up, and that's why whenever you have these like lower level games like the emerging regions or the wild card regions playing against like top tier teams, this year's gonna be insane. Like Chovy is going to be playing against like unicorns of love. I don't care who Chovy's the best mid laner this year. Period.
And he, and
And
unicorns love are coming for that head, boy. They
I'm telling
coming
you,
for that head.
UOL is gonna get walked. It's gonna be 100 CS deficit at like 15 minutes.
Ah,
I'm
I don't.
sorry. I'm
I
sorry. They're gonna have to ban out. They're gonna have to ban out 5 mid champions, pick 3 mid champions, and he's still gonna walk them on like Timo mid. Like don't play with my boy. Don't play with my boy
no.
like
That ain't
that.
the point.
Don't
The
play with my
point
boy
is
like
this.
that,
Who said I'm playing? I'm just being real with you. It
bro.
comes down to the
Bro,
point of
bro.
execution.
Who's
How do
who's
you execute?
who's
Because
who's
again,
who's Unicorns of Love's mid laner?
I don't even know.
Uh huh. Uh huh. You out here.
I,
You out
I,
here cap.
I,
You out here capping right now for this man. You don't even know his name.
I don't. What I am going to say is this: it doesn't. As you told me, it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't execute, you will get your butt kicked.
True.
Straight
True.
up.
I did
That's
say
the.
that.
It's the
It's
it's the opposite,
it's no man's. It's no man's. He's
which is
getting
funny.
he's getting walked by Chovy. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. There's no universe where it's like any of these
Oh,
emerging
there is. There
wild
is a
card,
universe, and if the patch,
bruh.
as we've seen, if the patch doesn't add up. If the patch and the meta don't add up to that style,
Oh yeah, I
trust me,
guess.
you've seen it
I
all the
mean,
time.
no, not all the time. We saw it once with Albus Nox Luna.
Knox.
Calm down. We seen it once, and now that might be one of the biggest upset glory runs of all time. So don't think it's gonna happen again.
No, but
Albus Nox was the truth though. I give him props
no,
though.
but no, it doesn't. I'm not saying like someone will knock on my team, but we've seen teams that have been really great, but then they get thrown.
You,
Then something gets thrown a loop, and it throws their entire how they run.
no, the issue is league is becoming too homogenized. Okay, the real issue is since because so when Albus Nox won, they basically won with a bunch of picks that nobody was playing. They were winning with like brand mid, and they were running like I don't know, like zillion support and stuff like that, right? Like people had no idea what these picks were. They didn't scrim against them. They thought they were just some team that they were going to dog walk. But the problem now is even these lower like these emerging regions and wildcard teams don't have they don't have the unique champion pool. You know what I mean? They don't have like these pocket picks or like they're not it's not like they won their league playing different than the established meta. Like if there was
Mhm.
a I'm pulling up league right now. Hold on.
I get what you're saying. It's a league has been a game of copy, and then when it
Yeah.
started,
Yeah,
it
if
used to
there's
start with
it,
like you used to start with everybody used to copy what Korea is doing. Then everybody then you have the emergence of the great C9 run. You
okay,
have high and them
so like if there's a team that's playing like Ramus top, Ari support, Warwick, I don't know, like Wukong mid, um,
Seraphine bot lane.
yeah, Seraphine 80 carry. If there's a team that's doing stuff like that, then boy, that would be amazing. Because then they're gonna come into the game, right? They're gonna come into the game. Teams will know because we all play the game. They'll be like, yeah, I played against this in like solo queue like once or twice, but they're gonna get smacked up by like LeBlanc 80 carry and Ari support. They're gonna like, but that's not what's happening anymore. Like all the teams are running the same compositions. They're all running like the same three mid laners, the same three junglers, the same five top laners, the same 280 carries. Like
And then
that's
and it just comes the game of sorry. It comes to game of this. Okay, I'm gonna bet either I pick it or how do I, if I let them play it, what do I have to stop them? And then if you don't have anything to stop them, like, well, how do I readjust
well.
it?
Then what
How,
ends up happening
what
is they go, well, they picked this off meta picks, and it's clearly off meta because it didn't work. And since it didn't work, it's clearly off meta. Not going like, oh, maybe because maybe they stomp in lane, maybe they really pop off and they win the game. They go to the 10th degree in lane, right? And that'd be fire. But then when things start flushing out because these higher caliber teams are like, okay, we're getting beat up. Let's just wait for like till 40 minutes, and then when the gold evens back out, we'll just run them over because they have a suboptimal team. You know what I mean? But
mhm.
that's not what's happening now. What I'm like that point that I even just made doesn't matter because what's happening now is the sheer fact that yeah, these players are not picking off meta picks even in the division, even in the leagues that they're winning to get to worlds. It's not like somebody's playing like Gragas mid, you know what I mean? Or like I don't know. No one's getting here on like Katarina. You know what I mean? Like just off meta stuff. And Showmaker's a Katarina one trick in solo queue. I mean, that's how he started. Now he plays everything because he has to practice for,
Yeah,
being
but
the
it's like the
world's like
point.
second best mid laner. But like he could just be like, hey, I want to play Katarina, y'all. Let's develop it. Let's build a comp around me playing Katarina. That'd be sick.
Which again, the fans will love it. People who play solo queue will love it because hey, is it Karina fan? Is it Karina Garen shipper X4? Be like, oh my god, you're playing my champion. Now I want to watch you try to see how you do.
Well, not even just watch you. To be like, yeah, you know what? I haven't been playing Katarina because I thought Katarina wasn't meta. I watch pro guides. I watch uh Game Leap. I watch what's the other one?
Skill cap,
Skill
skill
Cap.
cap.
And Katarina hasn't been on their S tier, OP tier, A tier in months. So I just didn't think she was good. But then so and so played them at Worlds and beat so and so either so handily or upset so and so. Like you got when what's the dude? What's the name of the dude? The mid laner for Albus. He had the long ponytail. I'm literally blanking on his name. But anyway, he was the brand player. You better believe that week, all the brand mains just came out the woodwork. I didn't play. I don't think I played a single game for like a month that didn't have a brand. You know?
I mean, listen, Leclerc, because
Yeah,
the mirror was Kira.
Kira. Yeah, Kira. Pretty sure it's
Because
Kira. No,
the one,
no, it was
because
maybe it was their support. I don't know. I can't remember
the
right now.
worlds that wait,
Because I don't think Kira was it Kira their mid laner at that
Kira was
Worlds?
the mid laner throughout their entire tournament roster between 2016.
Okay. Was it the bot laner that I'm thinking of then? Or
Yeah,
like this
Kira didn't have a ponytail, but it's a Le Crit. Yeah.
Lacrit, maybe. I think maybe it was Lacrit. Either way, all I'm
Yes,
saying,
yeah, he's a brand man.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a brand.
All I'm saying
He's
is
on crowd control right now.
oh, that's cool.
Crow crowd.
But but yeah, like seeing, and I know Riot keeps on saying like the changes in point 18, point 19 changes are so that people can be happy about seeing their mains in the game. But like the way pro play just fleshes out, people aren't going to be playing like Nico. You're not going to see like Nico at Worlds. I would hope you would, but I don't think
Oh,
you're
you
going to.
might with with the state of rail, you might see her. Remember that bot lane is toxic.
I mean, but
Like,
that's like a pro guide's bot lane. Like I
yeah.
don't think I don't think I don't think Worlds players are. And I would be happy to be wrong. I'm not. I'd be really really happy to see Nico Rel bot lane. But I think that's either only coming out for a troll, or I think that's either or or pro guides got it from some obscure scrim result.
Korea.
Well, not
Korea.
Korea. Well, is that one of those OP in Korea
Korea.
things? Yeah.
Yes, it's a bot lane pick together because basically
But I mean,
their
okay.
range is about the same. They both can lock you.
I
They both have a
I
way
I
to
did
lock you.
I understand how it works. I did a review on it. But what
Oh,
I'm saying is like the Avengers bot lane never took off. The Avengers bot lane with Talia and Pantheon, that was a great bot lane. Won a few games, never took off. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that
the dark
because
tech bot lane.
all the dark tech. I mean, I want to see support Veigar. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's a great support, and he had his time to shine when Lemon Nation was playing him. You know,
And DFG.
well, no, he was yeah, but that was after DFG when he was playing Veigar support. That was like season 5 or
Those Deathfire
6.
touch days.
Yeah.
But
But
the
like I
point
said,
is,
there's not enough variety coming out of other regions.
so
All
I
the
need.
regions have like homogenized to go, oh, this is how we play League of Legends. This is what is good. This is what we will play.
So what if again? This is where you wonder, like, what if? And this is where you said that. What if Riot this year for NA they broke they made the season one giant season with
Well, not one giant season. I said get rid of the spring split and then host a load of tournaments. So then we could
or
have more international play.
hear me out. Do what you just said, but go back to some of your partners that you may have long forgotten about because you said I gotten so big we don't need nobody else. Go back
Well,
to go back to go back to your IEM.
I
Is it
am MLGs. Yeah.
well him and G days may be done, but is it is it,
IPLs.
yes
Yeah, I
these
know,
are
no, duh, I know. Like that's and that might be like
MLGs.
that might be the pipe dream of like us old heads or whatever, people who have just been watching the scene and following the professional scene for super long.
But
But
definitely go back to PAX. Like it's like I know you use PAX East for your collegiate spring finals because that's when school starts wrapping up. But is it make these trips where you're doing these events where these guys can't see everybody because as you said, the more you see something, the more you see it happening, the more you just adjust to it.
yeah.
Like you're a music man. somebody drops this one you drop a single. That single gets put in a movie. That single is played on the radio 8 9 times a day. Paid spots every hour on the every 90 minutes on every 90 minutes. And it's like, man, this song's trash. 2 days later,
Listen to it long enough. It ain't trash no more.
is it 2 days later? Is it
Familiarity bias is that's what that's called. It's called familiarity
yes,
bias.
yes. Next, you know, you singing, you're singing. Listen, where the hell am I found? Where the hell am I? Look, you're singing that. You're
I
singing
don't
that
know that
whole
song.
song.
No, I'm just
It's a Lizzo
saying.
song. It's a Lizzo song.
I was listening to so this was the Zed World song Ignite.
Hmm.
I was not feeling it. I was trying my hardest to feel it. I was not feeling. I was listening to it all week, and then at one point, I was driving home from work, and it just fucking. Well, I swear, it just slapped. It just slapped, boy. Like I don't know what it was. It was like and ignite, and I was just like, yeah, driving, and it finally, like the familiarity bias finally got a hold of me, and I was with it, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, you're not wrong.
But it's like it comes to that, like the less you're exposed, and you want to get rid of spring. I'm saying take spring and make it more international focus. So take winter and spring. Give people that 1 week. Now, granted, it may upset your TV partners that way. And I know you want to wrap up because it's almost time for your bedtime, almost time for my bedtime, so I got to work today.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag payday. Anyway, back to
Hey,
the point. Also, thank you, Drea. I know I was supposed to call you. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to the point at hand. This is back to the point at hand. Where we're getting what you want to get an improved league. It's probably to open the door. Like I just wanted a hard reset with tiers. Only reason I said tiers so that way I don't get stuck. That way, if yeah, that way it's like so that way you get if you get the unlucky break where you go 10 and up. It's like if you somehow get 0 and 10, you're not like congratulations, you're starting dirt.
I don't mind
You're in.
starting. I don't mind starting in dirt
I do
because
because again the lower elos, and this is you see this in iRacing, the most people with mechanical, but more than just hands issues.
I know. Like I said, I think, and I'm gonna finish on this when it comes to that whole thing. Like I've been playing on my Smurf. It was iron. I accidentally got it in the bronze, just to see like have fun, like so I could try different champions and stuff. And I will say, mm, yeah, like 4 out of 10 games, I have someone AFK or someone not connecting it or not connect, but like somebody leave the game or someone intentionally feed, run it down. It is a different kind of beast down there because you're playing with a bunch of other Smurfs or you're playing with new players that don't know what they're doing, and you just have to play differently when you're down there because yeah, if your teammate AFKs because they went 0-1, they just died once in lane, they're like F this, I didn't get a jungle gank, I'm out. Like you have to the thing about being that far down is like you can literally still 1v9. You can still, depending on the champion you're on. Like I was on Yone, and I had to do, I think I had to do like 70,000 damage in order to win the game. Like I just had to do twice the amount of damage than my entire team, and then like the same amount of damage as the enemy team combined. You know what I mean? Like I had to basically just carry to win the game.
Yeah, which I commend you on. But at the same time, I think a lot of it's like this is where number two, like this has nothing to do with actual solo queue. Oh, is it I'm think is it and I would love to see this happen. New players, I like to push rank back further until you unlock rank.
Ah, gotcha.
That-
Not just hit level 30.
yeah. Because like anyone can get level 30, anyone can buy level 30. But the problem is
You can buy like 10 level 30s account
level
for like
30,
$5.
I ain't it's I almost got tempted to do that. And I between that and getting boosted, which I don't want to lose my friend I don't want to lose my friend for life
Yeah.
just because I want to spend $300 to get boosted to gold to say I'm gold.
Yeah, that's
Like
silly.
it's like what good does that make, right?
Yeah.
Point being is this: is it league has to do a better job teach. I hate to say it. Some is it you can show somebody the game, they can play a game. but they can just be doing stuff but not playing the game. Like you have, like you having to every time you play with me, you're having to. In some cases, unless I'm like locked in, you're having to come on in. Come on, let's cross the street. Look, both come on, hold my hand. Let's get across the street together.
That's funny.
And you're having to play the game for me while I'm sitting here just pressing buttons.
That's not unfair to say. That does happen.
But the issue is a lot of issue because of the fact that league theory is not taught by league. And it's one of those things where if league teaches their own game, not just outside the tutorial, but actually teaches their own game, things change. Like, okay, now you realize that okay, your decisions actually have weight versus I didn't get I can't carry. Like Shooter said, oh, I didn't get my need to carry, I'm out. Like when you got to break the hat, you have three.
Shonen anime protagonist syndrome.
I like to call it big baby. Is it king baby syndrome? King baby.
Wow. Wow, calling me a big baby. I see how it is. Well, with
No,
that being said, folks, we are going to wrap up the show. We do appreciate you if you've made it all the way to the end of the show. This really went on a bunch of different twists and turns that wasn't really expecting, but this is us talking. This is us hoping that we connect with someone else out there that is either having the same struggles or has the same kind of passion for the game, but is still not having maybe the same amount of success, and thinks about different ways that we can make the game better, and not just for selfish reasons, but also because you want to see this game do well. Like I
like
said,
you
my
want.
name's King. You can follow me at call _ me King, and the I is an L because King is always taken. So the I is actually just an L, and that's call _ me King with an L. And you can follow my main here at Race Crown. Those are our Twitter handles. You can come to the stream at call _ me King at twitch.tv or twitch.tv/call _ me King, and that one's just regular. There's no L for the King. You can follow him at twitch.tv/ is it VG Race or Race
Race Crown 21, but
Race
I
Crown
can't.
21?
But I can't stream anymore because of 6-core chip problems.
Gotcha.
But
All in
to wrap
all,
everything up, guys, before we end, just remember three things. One, be nice to your neighbor because you never know what they're going through. Number two, if you can volunteer at your animal shelter right now. They really need people to help take care of their animals.
are you really taking my outro right now? Are you really
Yes
taking
and
my
no.
outro?
No, yes and no.
Bro, this man is really out here taking my outro. What the?
Listen, and
It's
three, and three.
brother. It's contact your local SPCA or animal shelter and
Listen, we don't have them down here. We just have
and
the pound.
or the pound, so that way you can take care of some lovely animals, walk a dog, pet a cat, have some fun. Make sure that if there's a local veterans association near you, you can donate your time to those that gave back to us. And like I always say, be kind to one another, because that's what matters at the end of the day. We're all on this planet together, and do your best to be kind to one another.
The last thing,
and then he's gonna still try to jack my. Oh my God, this man!
I'm not jacking it. It's like after the events of last 2 months, guys, just be thankful for where you are. I don't know. I know I hate where I am in league. I hate the fact that my best friend's like 1,300 miles away. I hate the fact that I can't call him, but I'm happy the fact that I'm still here on this rock with him. Regardless of how this game makes me feel, how life makes me feel, I'm happy that I'm still on Earth in it. So remember that.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I'm crying right now because I'm trying to stop myself from crying because it sucks knowing that there's people who are dying trying to be where I am right now, and I just I'm pissing it all away like people do at a football stadium in a trough.
All right, man. Well, hopefully, folks, you guys have enjoyed the show. I'm gonna have a few more conversations with my buddy over here, and I'll get at y'all later. Thanks again. Nights out.